Welcome to the analysis of credit risk dataset. In this video, we will explore the factors influencing loan default and techniques used to assess the creditworthiness. Here is the detail of this project. Age, annual income, home ownership, employment length. Employment length means how long a person has been working. Loan intent, loan grade, loan amount, interest rate, loan status, percent income, historical default. Historical default meaning has he ever missed any of his installment. Credit history length in years. Here comes the first question. Tax calculation for financial metrics. Here is the financial metric. Total loan amount given is $312 million. Average loan amount given is $9.59 thousand. Average interest rate is 9.96% and the default rate is 21.82%. That means 1 out of every 5 person is defaulting their loan. Higher interest rate could be the reason or maybe other factors. We will see in our presentation next. Next question is visualization of loan status across different employment length and home ownership status. Here I have created a bar chart with person home ownership on the x-axis and default rate on the y-axis with the legend with the person employment length in legend. Here we can clearly see that home ownership rent and employment length of 0 years has the highest default rate. This bar graph shows the loan status based on the home ownership. This bar graph shows the loan status based on the employment length. And this is the loan approval date by loan intent. Here we can clearly see that the loan approval date of debt consolidate is the higher. That means the person who is taking loan on debt consolidation gets the higher chances of loan approval. So this is the visualization of loan status. And then one more question asked in this question, that which combination shows the highest default rate. So here you can see the highest default rate is shown by the home ownership rent and the employment length 0. So this is the combination. You can see it from here, from this filter. Here you can see that the default rate of home ownership rent and the employment length 0 is 22.50%. So next question is segmentation analysis using loan intent. This chart shows the average income based on the loan intent. Here we can see that the home improvement has the highest average income among them all, and the medical average income is the lowest. This bar chart shows us the average income and the loan amount sanctioned. Like the home improvement has the average income of $74,000, but the loan sanctioned to him is $10,000. So our question was, which intent has the highest loan amount to income ratio? So medical has the highest loan to income ratio by loan intent. Our next question is time series analysis. Here I created a bar chart where credit history length is on the x-axis and the default rate on the y-axis. Here we have the slicer where we can control the credit history length and we can see the default rate accordingly. So it is taking time. As we can clearly see that the person who has credit history length of less than 10 years or maybe 11 years, the default rate is very high. And the person who has credit history length of more than 11 years has a default rate of almost 0%. One thing we can conclude from this chart is that the longer the credit history, the lower the default rate. Our next question is predictive insight, and we have this bar chart where interest rate scenario is on the x-axis and default rate is on the y-axis. We can clearly see from this chart that if the interest rate is increasing, then the default rate is also increasing. If we decrease the interest rate, then the default rate will also decrease. Next question is geographic data exploration. But we do not have the geographic data is advanced DEX for risk assessment. So here we have to write a DEX formula to calculate the risk score. Here I have created a risk score. Now I have created several charts like the risk scores based on the loan intent. Here we can clearly see that the education has a higher risk score. That means the default rate could be higher in case of education loan and lower in the home improvement. This pie chart shows the risk score by home ownership. This is by the employment length, and you can clearly see that the higher the employment length, the lower the risk, and lower the employment length, higher will be the risk. We can also conclude one thing from here, that the person who has 0 years of work experience, or maybe he or she is unemployed, so the risk score is very high. Maybe they will default on their loan. This is the risk score by loan grade. F has the highest risk score and the G has the lowest risk score. Here is the risk score by the personage. The person who are younger has the highest risk score, and who are elder, they have the lowest risk score. This is the average risk score of the whole dataset. The next question is security features for sensitive data. Implement the row-level security to ensure that only some specific person can view, or maybe the specific region-wise people can watch that content. So how we do that? Let's see. So we go to the modeling and then manage roles. I have created 2 roles based on the person home ownership. That means the person who has the home ownership of mortgage can only see the mortgage data, and person who is on the rent can see only the rented property. Then close it. View as. If I click on this, then it will show me the home ownership rent. It is the rent data it will show me. And if I do for the mortgage part, I can also watch the mortgage data. So now we do the publish, but I cannot do it right now because it will require an email ID. So our next question is the dashboard creation and publication. Design a comprehensive dashboard that includes all of your analysis. So let's go to the dashboard part. So here is the dashboard. Total loan amount given, average loan amount, average interest rate, default rate, and the various bar graph and the pie chart, and these are the slices. So we can drill through the any part of it. Like I need to check the rented loan amount. So it is the average loan amount is 8.86 thousand and the average interest rate is 10.37%. Default rate is higher, 31.57%. This is the risk score of the rented owner by the service, and this is the loan approval rate for the rented person. We can also see the data based on the defaulter. If the person is defaulter, then this is the data, average loan amount given on the home ownership basis and the loan amount by the loan intent. This all data is for the defaulter, and if someone has not defaulted, then this is the data, the average loan amount, the risk score, everything you can see and drill down through it. So that's my presentation. Thank you.